are you? I'm very happy to know that once more you are there participating in our lives of the Brazilian cattle. And of course, when you see the spark in my eyes and in my smile, it's because we're going to talk about genetics, and it's what in my heart, and to talk about the Brazilian Zebu genetics and to provide more information about what we have best here in our country to contribute in the efficiency of your country. So, to bring a little bit more about this information with you, we are going to have here in our studio of ABCZ TV in the House of Zebu. We are going to have people from CRV who are going to talk a little bit about all the news that we are going to have in this area. So I would like to invite Antonio Garcia, who is the producer of Zebu and CRV. Welcome. It's a pleasure for me to be here once again in the studio of ABCZ TV.
Hi, Issy. It was an immense pleasure to be present here once again at the BCZ TV studio at one other streamed presentation of a Brazilian cattle to talk about genetic, talk about Cebu is one of our passions, and it's what we want to talk about. And we come here with a very special reason with Antonio, and I have another guest that is Andres, directly from Colombia. And we're going to be able to talk a lot about genetic improvement and the genetic of Gileiteiro and the Zebu and CRV, both here for Brazil, but for also other international players.
This is what's best, right? That's why we smile so much when we talk about genetics. Murilo, welcome. Murilo is the supervisor of Foreign Affairs, and Antonio
Thank you,
Carlos Nogueira.
Lisa.
He's the manager of businesses and genetics. Welcome, welcome to our home in Cebu. And with you, Andres. Welcome. Andres Rincon is the manager of exports in CRV. He's in Colombia, speaking from Colombia, talking in Expo Genetics. Welcome.
Hi, sí, gracias. It's a pleasure to be with you. A special greeting to my colleagues, and for thank you for this invitation. I'm very happy to be here with you.
Thank you so much. The satisfaction is ours. So I wish you all a great life, and please take that to your friends everywhere in the world in what's best in the technologies, in genetics, in the services that we offer. Okay, I'll be back in the end. Thank you very much, Is.
Okay, let's continue here in this stream presentation here. And when we talk about Zebu and we talk about genetic improvement, it's a very big satisfaction of CRV to talk about this in Brazil and to the rest of the world. We're directly from Expo Genetics, which is a major fair that it takes place here in Parque Fernando Costa in Brazil, and it has a very good place. It's a very good place for people here in Brazil and abroad to look. And we are a company of 150 years. And last year we have been here in Brazil for 50 years, and it's we have a great responsibility to for genetic improvement in the Zebu breed. It's a major reference in the Nelore breed and also in the Zebu milk and Gileiteiro as well. And we are trying and improving our portfolio, and we are also looking for a better genetically improved animal for Brazil and abroad. And here in Brazil, not only with a sale of semen, but also that we have brought this portfolio of embryos, right, that are being enabled to Brazil, right? Sure. Yes, Garcia. The program that CRV brought and here in Expo Genetics, CRV Embryo, it's a program that we're going to make available for our clients in CRV here in Brazil and the world. We have embryos of the Zebu breeds that we have available for you. Yes, and Murilo too is also here. He's in charge of exports, and you can see an impact of the embryos and in the export amount of exports from other countries to other countries here to bring this genetic material in the semen, but also the embryos, right? Yes, really. We have been exporting a lot of semen doses, and we're also focusing on the embryos. And it's a program that has been sought after, and we're working with the logistics team and the documents also for us to take the genetic material to any country, then because we do have protocols that are available. Right. It's as Antonio mentioned and Murilo mentioned, we not only work with semen, we are also working with a project of embryos and trying to get genetic improvement not only for Brazil but for the rest of the world too. When we talk about genetic improvement, I'm going to mention some of the bulls that we selected for this stream presentation. So to see how much we always look for genetic improvement, the best bulls in the best farms in the country, and the ideal ones for your property. Within the Gileiteiro breed, we as the authority in Gileiteiro, without a doubt, one of the main portfolios here in Brazil is present within CRV. They're always proven, and we're going to be able to show you here today the quality, the genetic material that is offered both for Brazil and for the rest of the world. I'm going to ask to show here the video of the first video that we're going to start showing here. Grande Fulminante Five from Fazenda Calciolândia. That's one of the records of sales here in Brazil, best sellers in Brazil and the rest of the world. Fulminante that went through the testing in 2022. It has a very good pedigree and a lot of genetic consistency. And it has a very strong genetic quality, and it was tested this year with 799 kilos of milk, a son of Sansão, and it's a bestseller here in Brazil, and also one of the bulls that you work with for export, right? And people really are after this genetic material, right? Yes. It is a proven bull, and it's very popular also. And the central of CRV is enabled for export for many countries, so you can check with us, and will be available to offer this genetic material for any country for export. And this is one of the bulls that is used in the project of embryo, right, Antonio? Yes, Garcia, Fulminante, as well as other bulls that you prepare and other managers of products, they use the best genetic material that we have in our portfolio, focusing, concentrating not only combining the maternal and the paternal lineage, as it is the case of Fulminante, bulls, a bull that we have embryos that are able to be exported to many countries in Latin America. So here we have one of the highlights of the group of CRV, the Fulminante Five, genetic consistency, and also let's continue. Now let's bring the next bull, and it's one of the leaders in the market, Grande Geogral Fivo de Brasília, and it's one of the bulls that is being used the most here. It has an opening of pedigree, and a big surprise from Brasilia because it has a very strong characterization, and it is very fertile, and also a bull that a phenotypical quality in his progenies and his daughters that are very proven. And for the past 2 or 3 years, the PTA milk testing is getting better and better. I have a large consistency in the milk breed or dairy cattle. And that's one of the bulls that people are really interested in, right? It's very popular in many countries around the world, and a lot of the sons here. Yes, of course, we are exporting a lot of the doses of belonging to him, because the doses will be able to be exported. So, Antonio, people talk to you about every week getting the embryos of this big breeder of dairy cattle, right? Yes, sure. Both here in Brazil and from abroad, we are getting orders of embryos and from Jogral. and they are available, right? We have organized everything. The embryos have been made and also conventional doses of this big breeder of Gileteiro with an opening of pedigree, and you can mate it with the main lineages of Gileteiro. And as we usually mention, we have quality. If you put good quality, you have good quality at the end. So now we have Lipe from Mutum Farm. I'd like to send my regards to Leo, our partners from the Mutum Farm. And here you have the leader of sales for 2 consecutive years here in Brazil and two leader of sales in terms of exports, right? It's the bull that we sell the most here in Brazil, and it shows us why it sells so much. If you talk about Lipe, son of the Mutum Farm, and uh, and here we have it is a big champion in the Expo Genetic Park, and it's proven a very good bull. All of the characteristics, very beautiful, with balance in walking, and it shows a lot of quality in terms of phenotype. And because of the genetic consistency. And you, Murilo, what do you think? You have probably exported more than 20,000 doses just in 2022, right? Yes, definitely. Yes, we export a lot, just reach a rating and to come on, visit our central so you can look at these bulls from up close and to see the quality of these bulls for export for many different countries that we're unable to export. Antonio, another bull that we're also working with of the Gileteiro breed, right, that is available for the market, right? Yes. As you mentioned, Garcia, CRV prepared these embryos with the best genetic material that it has available, as Murilo mentioned, with donors that are able for the production of the embryos and to export for Latin American countries. Without a doubt, is a genetic material that is aggregating to our portfolio. And another bull, next bull is that is very important now in Brazil and is being used very often in abroad, which is Grande Imperative Ate and Imperative Wad, right, from a young breeder, one of the youngest breeders of Gileteiro that is being used very often. His progeny is also lactating and females of a lot of quality, and we're looking for the sons of this bull to make up our group, and we're going to talk about the criteria of selection of the main zebu breeders in CRV. We're going to talk about this selection criteria. So, Grande Imperative Wad, the son of Diamante and Ophelia on the maternal side, the main cow in Colombo Farm, and it has a lot of genetic consistency, a lot of balance, and a bull that shows us a lot of quality within its progeny. Let's move on to the next bull. The next bull in our group, which is Grande Gabarito Ávila. So Gabarito Ávila is considered the model bull of Gileteiro breed, and he was a major champion here in the Expo Zebu, in many other places, in competitions. He's one of the most popular bulls in Brazil. He was a very big champion and many championships throughout the country. And especially Colombians like it a lot, right? Yes, they do. They like Gabarito. And I'd like to emphasize that the exports, they are according to the sanitary measures for us to make the sales. So the official exports are within the official criteria to meet the sanitary protocols of countries. So that is, our embryos will get to your countries with all of the documents, everything, right, for you to start working with your associations, right, Antonio? Yeah, surely. That enables you, breeder, and that watches our presentation, the safety and the health protocols that are necessary that are in a concern within CRV when we export genetic material to deliver a quality product of sanitary quality. Well, now we talked about five major breeders in terms of Gileiteiro breed, and we talked about our portfolio of embryos, and if Murilo could talk about the exports, and now we can talk directly to you, breeder. We are from Expo Genetics in our stand. We have a lot of bulls, especially in the lower breed here in our stand. And I'd like to make an invitation here that is really important to visit here and to let's have a coffee together. The whole team of CRV will be here, and our manager of beef cattle will be present here. All of the technical part team will be here. Murilo, Antonio will be here to talk about embryos too. So come visit us, have a coffee, and to observe the main bulls in the Nelore group here that will be present during Expo Genetics. As many people ask me, how do you do the selection of your bulls to be part of the CRV group, especially when it with dairy and beef cattle? What are the criteria that you use for your choice? Today, this market is extremely segmented in terms of niche in both in beef and dairy, and we are looking for bulls within these two areas here in Brazil and abroad. We look for bulls that have good phenotype with assessment and have an amazing program of genetic improvement of ABCZ, which is called PMGCZ. PMGCZ, and both for dairy and beef cattle, we look for bulls that have superior quality and genetic assessment and that have consistency in genetic lineage and that are going to increase and bring genetic improvement for you in Brazil and in the rest of the world. When we talk about the rest of the world, I'd like to talk with Andres Rincon about the work that we've been doing in our exports. Andres, our friend Garcia, thank you for your presentation and thank you for your question. In tandem with the group and our colleagues, managers of product, and our other colleagues with the support of Murilo and the supervision of international export. It's very important to provide for a demand, especially in the North and Central America. And we have differentiated genetic on also, and especially 65% in this order, especially with Girolando. And now currently we have a special force, the Nelore breed, that is being disseminated very well in the States and is being consolidated really well in Latin American countries. And we presented two types of markets, especially for tropical breeds and the European breeds too. And we are using a lot of tropical breeds that for tropical areas that come from Brazil too. And the bulls that have been mentioned have an amazing demand from them. And now we are seeing the results from the genetic perspective. His daughters are being consolidated and supporting the genetic basis and all of this family that have these bulls that are being consolidated in productivity and the efficiency especially. Since we have a very important responsibility to include the genetic material in the exports and the main bulls in exports, and also we to bring it to Brazilian and international markets too. So, what is the participation of Nelore breed in Colombia, Costa Rica, Panama, and countries to which we export the Nelore semen? What is the growth of the Nelore breed? I see the growth that is very high, and it's being consolidated. In previous years, it wasn't one of the breeds that were most popular for the production of beef production in these countries. Brahma was in Colombia, in Costa Rica, and Panama was extremely important. But now the Nellore breed it starts gaining territory for its efficiency and its results, and for it having a short cycle and high precociousness. These are the qualities of cattle breeders are looking for in South America and in Latin America in general, and it's being consolidated very well, especially in the Equatorian coast as well, and the Atlantic coast as well in Colombia, in Central America, and Panama, Costa Rica, Guatemala too. It has a very high demand in terms of longevity and precociousness, and that supports the qualities of this breed, and it's gaining a lot of territory and in the exports up to the countries of Latin America. And our new project of CRV, which is CRV embryo, is also very popular in the countries that you're working with, the part of embryos of zebu, and it's very popular, right? Yes, that is true, Garcia. In fact, the countries where biotechnologies is being very developed. Ecuador, Costa Rica, and Colombia are trying to improve their herds of their cattle using this tool of transfer of embryos. There were some situations in which we tried to improve genetically using good bulls, like very high quality, but we didn't manage with the cows that we had available to reach the same quality that we can achieve with the quality that we import from Brazil embryos. What we have found and what we have seen in the the short term, is a very high opportunity to get embryos from Brazil to grow very rapidly. And with the leadership now, Antonio Nogueira, because we have a great opportunity to add a lot of value with the frozen embryos here in these countries. That is a very good opportunity, and we can have high demand and a lot of interest by the cattle breeders to use our embryos with the support of great quality bulls that you have, and we can count on this. Perfect, Andres. Perfect, Andres. And we're going to talk about this project of embryos. I'll talk to Antonio about this embryo project, how this project started, and what is the main goal, where we want to get with the project of embryos. Antonio, can you talk a bit about this and to tell the audience that is watching that wants to improve and accelerate genetic enhancement with the works of CRV and within the projects that CRV? So, well, for us to talk about CRV embryo, I'd like to invite the breeders that are here to watch this video that we're going to show concerning CRVM. In a world where speed is necessary and everything and all the markets to accompany the evolution of technology is to be ahead of its time, your time. It's the challenge and a differential. Now progress is at your reach. Within your reach, in record time, we present CRV Embryo, the solution capable of joining the best of the female cows and the bulls for a superior cattle herd. Now, get there before to the first place in cattle breeding, CRV Embryo, 1 century in 1 generation. Garcia was with a lot of care that CRV prepared this program for our clients. CRV has been working for 1 year, over a year, in the establishing and planning of this program involving all of the areas in the company to develop the product CRV Embryo. And currently, with the support from you, Delmiro, and other colleagues and managers of products, we are identifying superior quality herds considering the criteria that you establish for the donors, always based on these programs of genetic improvement, especially in PMGZ. in which we have Nelore breeds, Sinji, and we also have the assessment of Gir Leiteiro, backing up genetic quality of the donors in the female lineage with the suggestions of the bulls that you provide for mating and or strengthening this genetic tool that is advancing a lot genetic improvement. So now we have available for our clients, not only in Brazil, but as we mentioned to other countries around the world, in which we're getting ready and producing embryos to meet the demands of this market through Andres and our commercial department are getting this demand, and we are producing them to take a CRV genetic for the producers who want to import Brazilian genetic material from Zabu. And yes, Antonio, we are concerned not only with the bulls that we've been using in the embryo project, and but also the females. And we try to get in touch with all of the breeding areas in Brazil and to choose the best families and the best individuals within those farms, so we could work and make it available national and internationally as well. So we were very careful and thorough in the criteria selection. So within Gileiteiro, I could see a herd 800 cows, and to select 60 of these cows of this Gileiteiro group that was very special, and especially from the Nelore breed too, we chose what the best in the Sinji breed as well. So we went to the best breeding areas and the best genetic material within these breeding areas to use with the best bulls from our group, joining a superior genetic both in the paternal and the maternal lineage, in trying to get a genetic material or an embryo that is real superior when it comes to quality, and for you, for breeders, dairy cattle breeders, and beef cattle breeders as well. And we have the responsibility that is very large to offer the market what is really real good quality that's going to improve genetically the cattle, their herd, right? Right, Antonio, as one of the leaders of this project, you have the responsibility to conduce as such an important project that we have to take the best quality of genetic material, right, to the breeders. Yes, definitely. I am lucky to count on you, my colleagues, and all the support that CRV gives us in this new endeavor or this new program of the company, which is a reality, and as we have been mentioning it, and to bring you producers, breeders actually, genetic material with sanitary quality. And we have already mentioned this, but I want to emphasize we have genetic quality allied with security, sanitary security. That is the differential that Garcia is providing the market. Murilo, you see clearly coming from Andres a lot of need for the genetic material that we're offering for genetic exports of genetic material, right? Yes, it is a project we're working on for a year, and we are taking all the measures in terms of protocol, and we're very careful and thorough working within the protocols, identifying the demands. And we've been working really hard, right? Trying to identify the main breeds, the bulls as well. We have selected them, and we've been working very hard to meet your demands. If you have any questions concerning the protocols that are being used, we are available to provide them. And here in Expo Genetics as well, right, Murilo? And during the Expo Genetics, we're going to answer any questions that they might have. Andres, you could observe and see a lot of cows that we selected for our project of embryos, right? What do you have to say about the cows that were selected for the embryo project? It's true, Garcia. Especially what makes us different and it makes us attractive for the export market is naturally the take into account that we can count on donors that have a genetic invaluable quality, especially because Latin American countries, uh, they are not found like this, and they are very selected, well selected cows due to the work, and especially for dairy and beef cattle. These are cows that have genetic value, mothers and grandmothers. They had a behavior and a productive characteristic that was very important. That makes it our program a lot more attractive, and we count on a genetic that supports from cattle breeders that have been recognized internationally. And this way, we can offer our customers and our clients a product and our embryos that have genetic support that is invaluable. Perfect, Andres. And what about Antonio, the producer that would like to know the genetic material of our embryo can go to you, can go to João Murilo and to me as well. Everyone in the technical team of the company, we we are scheduling a few visits for the main farms that to take you, the breeder who wants to visit the project and to get to know better the project and the farms that have been providing this genetic material to us. So Antonio had the chance to go all of the farms and to see the quality of the donors. So we are planning to take the breeders to these farms to get to know the program and to know where this CRV genetic comes from, especially from the mother lineage, especially because the paternal lineage are from within our centrals and they are available for everyone who wants to see this genetic material. And it's also going to be present here in Expo Genetics in our stand in CRV stand, and we're here available to all of you. Come here to visit and check what we have best, the best genetic that we have to offer. Definitely. Garcia mentioned something that it was very important. One of the values that CRV has as company is transparency. So today we can welcome you here in Brazil, a breeder, our friend, and if you want to visit Brazil and now in Expo Genetics also, or in Expo Zebu, that is going to happen, look for CRV. Get in touch with us and through our social media as well. Schedule our visits in the farms where the donors are located, where the female lineage are, where which we use to produce our embryos. You will be very welcome, and we would love to exchange experiences with you and to present our products. In this case, more focusing more on the embryos, but also being able to know the to offer the semen that we can offer to you. We can explain, yes, we're available to answer any question that you might have. If you want to know a little more about the embryo work that we carry out and also the genetic improvements that we have, where we make available the semen, both in Nelore, Senji, Girleiteiro breed, all of these breeds, and all of the bulls that are part of our portfolio of CRV. And we would like to thank you, and I'm going to start saying goodbye to everyone who's here. Andres, thank you very much for being here with us in this presentation, and a big hug for you, and I hope that we can be together in Colombia. Thank you, and my colleagues too from Brazil, Antonio Murillo, and a big hug and thank you for this opportunity to and for the invitation to talk here. We thank you, Andres, and we also thank Murilo, who is our supervisor of exports. He is an important part of our team. He helps us a lot within CRV concerning exports. I'd like to thank Antonio Nogueira, our commercial manager, and thank you, Antonio, for being here in this amazing Expo Genetics that an amazing fair that ABCZ is holding, and would like to thank ABCZ and Brazilian Cattle and represented by you, okay? BC, to be here once again with you. Thank you.
To be here, present with us once again, with all of you. We thank you the opportunity of being here, sharing so much information. So after all, it's so good to see that this Brazilian genetics with quality and with safety can reach you and your country and help you in the development of the cattle raising that you have. So I'm very happy and thankful for having you accepted this live, but also to be part of the Brazilian cattle, participating in our actions and believing in our work. Thank you so much for the partnership. I hope that you are always with us and that you are very successful in Expo Genetics. And for you who is there participating in another live of ours, thank you so much. Once again, receive our thank you and our hug. We hope that you are here with us again next time in all the other lives that we have with more information and news. So we'll see each other soon. Thank you so much. Bye bye.